What's up guys, it's Paul, and lately I've been seeing a whole lot of tanks struggling in an LFR here, especially the new Throne of Thunder one, so I decided to put together a little video, help you guys out a little bit if you're interested, and we'll start here with the last stand of the Zandalari. Before I get into the boss, 3 tips, alright, just things I've picked up on while doing LFR. Number 1, don't be an asshole, no point to it, no one's going to listen to you, you're just going to look like a dick. Number 2, communicate with the raid members as a tank. It's kind of your responsibility to hold these guys' hands a little bit. A lot of them don't raid a whole lot in normal mode. You can help them out. And be prepared as well for that one. You know, don't go in blind. And number 3, find a tanking buddy. If you can find someone with your server you can hop on vent with, things are going to go a whole lot smoother. And for this raid I'll actually be tanking with a good friend of mine, Chompy from Pacific Playland. We tank normal mode together as well. So we're going to start here with Jin'rokh the Breaker. For Jin'rokh the Breaker, you're going to need 2 tanks on the boss. You'll be switching when he does an ability, and you're going to need to watch out for 2 abilities that the boss actually does. First of these is going to be Thundering Throw. It's a big mechanic on the fight. I'll explain when he does it. And Static Burst, which we should see here very shortly. He's going to shoot out lightning from the boss, and Chompy's actually going to dodge this one. There it was. When Static Burst actually lands on the tank, what you want to do is just taunt the boss right away and perform a tank switch, and that's all you need to do whenever you see a DVM warning or you see that lightning shoot out from the boss. The next thing we are going to see here is Chompy's going to get Thundering Thrown. This is the big part of the fight. This is how the boss will create the lightning pools. What I did there is I taunted immediately as he got picked up, that way there's no delay and nobody else got meleeed by the boss as soon as he throws the other tank. Now, as soon as Chompy got out of the stun that Thundering Throw puts on you, taunted the boss, dragged him back towards the middle, got his back facing towards this puddle. Puddle gives a DPS boost to the raid, so you always want to keep the boss facing this way, maybe even a bit closer to the center than we're doing here. Right there you saw him dodge another Static Burst, so I did not need to taunt. As far as some of the other mechanics on this fight, right there you saw Egon, the druid that we play with, he got a lightning debuff. Got a little lightning orb chasing him, and he is smart and he dropped it out on the grate out there in the background on the left side you see. Right there Chompy got static bursted. I went ahead and taunted, and right there I also went ahead and typed stag to the rest of the raid so that they get in while the boss electrifies the puddle as he's doing right now. As the fight progresses, the room's going to fill up here with these puddles. They're all going to get electrified in the order that they spawned. And it's just a rinse and repeat of this single phase. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it at normal speed until I get Thundering Thrown, which will be here next. Just observe the mechanics, and then we'll go ahead and speed it on towards the end. That way you kind of see what the fight looks like as everything fills up. So here's a Thundering Throw, and the boss just kind of picks you up and heaves you at a statue. You bounce off the statue and you get stunned for 5 seconds. Now right here, as soon as I come out of the stun, Chompy gets Static Burst, I taunt the boss, flip him around, and rinse and repeat. And that right there is the fight. You're going to hope that your DPS brings the little lightning orbs out of the raid, and they'll drop them on the tank, as you might see here as I fast forward here. And hope that your DPS is up to par, and we barely make it. So, hope you enjoy the rest, and then we'll go and move to the second boss. The second boss of Last Stand of the Zandalari is Horadon. On Horadon, the tanks are going to be swapping roles every door. We like to do every door rather than every 2 doors. 1, because it's good practice for normal, and 2, it keeps the healing a little bit more manageable for pug healers. When the pull is initiated, the tank that is picking up Horadon first is going to move him perpendicular to the direction of the adds coming out of the door. The adds are going to be tanked right near the door and making sure that everybody can avoid the ground abilities that the adds will be putting down. And these are going to change on every door. We'll talk about each door when we get there. And here we go, we're going to start with a pull. Chompy's just going to run up, hit the boss, and Horadon will be engaged. During the fight, there's two abilities you always want to be on the lookout for. One's called double swipe. It's a frontal and rear cleave that Horadon does. And the second one is called triple puncture. That'll be of concern to the tank that is currently tanking Horadon, depending on the door. It's a stackable debuff. It's the reason we're doing the tank switch. As far as door 1 goes, the mechanics of this door are very easy. All you have to do is pick up all the adds, let the DPS burn them down, which should be relatively quick if your DPS is decent, and kill the Dinomancer when he pops out. Make sure you avoid sand traps that are on the ground. They'll come up as little gold looking pools. These are not beneficial. Make sure you get out of them. At this point in the fight, the Dinomancer comes out, we switch to the Dinomancer, burn him down, and then someone clicks the orb that the Dino drops. And then we go ahead and transition to the second door. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through it. You see the sand traps on the ground there. I just ran through one trying to pick up these adds. It's getting a little tight, so you want to make sure you avoid that ground debuff, help out your healers as much as you can. So door 2, I'm taking the boss. You're going to see triple puncture coming up here. It's going to be a frontal rake. Then right after that, we're going to see a double swipe being cast on the ground, frontal and rear ground damage. It doesn't actually hit until that thick graphic disappears, so you have time to run out of it, and you should even when you're tanking the boss. For door 2, the add tank needs to make sure that he's moving the adds away from poison pools that spawn to give DPS a little bit more room, and he needs to make sure that he's also helping to interrupt the poison volleys that the effusions and the venom priests do. Interrupting that poison here on door 2 either makes or breaks the fight, as well as anybody in the raid actually cleansing it, but that's not your responsibility. You'll notice here when I'm tanking Horadon that Horadon has a charge ability where he'll charge around a raid member. As the Horadon tank, you should try to reposition Horadon so that the off tank has a bit more room to do his job and help him out. So here we're pushing on to door 3. For door 3, all you want to do here is avoid frost orbs and pick up the frozen warlords. Frozen warlords will be bigger mobs that will have an aggro table. These other ones go around and put random debuffs on people. You want to put aggro on them, but don't worry too much about them running around. What you do want to do eventually is drop an AoE taunt once most of the adds are up. I have a banner that doesn't taunt Horadon, it's pretty perfect. And make sure you're moving adds away from these frost orbs. They look a whole lot like mage frost orbs, so don't get confused and don't get caught with your pants down. On door 4, it's mostly up to the healers. There's just a lot of damage going out. You want to make sure you pick up the war bears and face them away, and then avoid static lightning totems that'll pop up on the ground. They can't be destroyed, so just make sure you get away from them. And Horadon tank does the usual dance here. After door 4 is over, the add tank's going to taunt Horadon, and the other tank is going to wait for the warlord to hop down from his balcony. The add tank should keep an eye on his stacks as well. You're going to want to taunt after we kill the warlord. But all that's going to happen here is I'm going to pick up the warlord, I'm going to move him so the DPS get him, you burn the warlord, then you burn Horadon. Horadon's damage does increase after the warlord's down, but all you need to do is just make sure that you've cleared your triple puncture stacks and that your tanks swap when their stacks wore off. You're good to go, and that'll be the end of the boss. So here's the warlord, I'm going to speed through the rest of it. third fight, last in Zandalari. It's the Elder Council. It's really dumbed down on LFR. There's really only one mechanic tanks need to worry about, and that's the tank swap on the Frost Lord. One tank's going to start on Soa, who's on the left here, and the other tank on Marley, who's the Holiad, that's in the middle of right. Frost Lord's going to come to one of the tanks. That tank just picks him up. This one, it's me. Throughout the whole fight, Jin, the green guy, is going to hop around like a special Olympian, as I pointed out. All you got to do is get out of these little clouds that he electrifies when he does a roll. Raid just DPSs the targets as they see fit, because you can't really control that. Hopefully they kill Soul first, that makes your job a whole lot easier. And I'll point out a tank swap here when he starts stacking the debuff on me. It's the Frost Lord. The reason that we keep them separated like this is for these Blessed Spirits to not make it to the boss, but you're in LFR, so they're going to make it to the boss every now and then. Now Frost Lord's going to get taunted off me here when the Frozen Assault starts stacking as it is now. Frost Lord's taunted. Yay. That basically, as far as tanks are concerned, is the fight. Eventually Soul's going to go down, and I'm going to fast forward to that part, and at that point all you're doing is you're going to be tanking Frost Lord and or High Priestess. So you're just going to be swapping those two, and make sure you swap positions because you don't want them next to each other, so that she just heals the Frost Lord really easy. Other than that, you want to spell reflect, you want to interrupt as much as you can, keep the raid damage low, stay out of stuff on the ground. It's a very simple, albeit long fight. But that's about it. I'll catch you guys at the end of the fight real quick, but thank you for watching. Again, this fight's real simple. Alright, so here's Frigid Assault is actually stacking on me. What you'll see is I actually get frozen here because I got the 15 stacks. So this is just to show you what kind of happens if you do miss a tank fail. We decided to do it just to kind of show off the mechanic. As soon as I bust out, I'm just going to taunt the High Priestess and move her far away from him. But no problem at all, even if you mess up the tank switch. Like I said, it's kind of a joke. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Again, we're going to fast forward to the end just to show that, hey, yay, we killed the boss. If you have any questions, go and feel free to post them in the comments. It's been fun putting it together. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in Looking for Raid.